Hello friends, let's start with inheritance in pointers, the next video series for inheritance and pointers. In the last video series, we have seen about the reason why ambiguity arises in hybrid inheritance. And removal of hybrid inheritance using virtual base class. The objective of this video is to understand about the derivation modes, public, private, and protected, and nested class. Now, modes of derivation, as we all know, there are various access specifiers, private, public, and protected. Purpose of private is cannot be accessed by any other classes, only the own class. Protected members means can be accessed by the derived class, and public members means can be accessed by all the classes. So type of derivation mode is also the similar type of mode. So when base class wants to share the members to the derived class, public members, private members, or protected members, it will depend upon the type of mode which is there, that which members will be accessible to the further classes. So if a private member is there and a public mode is there, then in any case, the private member of base class in any of the mode of derivation cannot be inherited to the derived class. In case of protected derivation, if a protected member is there and the type of mode is public mode, then the protected members will become protected in the derived class. If the type of derivation mode is private, then the protected members will become private in derived class. If the protected members are there and derivation mode is protected, that it remains protected in the derived classes. Then there comes about the public mode. Now, in case of public mode, public members for public mode become public. Public members in case of private mode becomes private in derived class, and public members in case of protected member becomes protected in derived classes. So for excess, in case, suppose if class mom is there and she has three types of things. One, that is key. Second, that is a ring. And third, that is a pen. She wants to keep the key as a private. That means she doesn't want to share her keys with even her son or her grandson. That is why she keeps the key as private. She wants the ring to be shared to her son or granddaughter, but again, that will depend upon the grandson or the son or daughter if they want to share it further or not. So she has kept it protected. Then she wants the pen, so that pen, she doesn't want the diamond ring if she gives it to the son, so that the son gives it to others. That is why she keeps it protected. And she wants the pen that public so that anyone can access. So accordingly, she is keeping the key as private, the ring as protected, and the pen as public. Now, suppose if class John wants to access the members from mom, she wants to access all these members from class mom. Mom says that I will share you the property, but I want to share it privately. Since I'm sharing it privately, I will not give my key, but however, I will give my ring also and my pen also to you, but I am giving it to you privately. That means I give you, I tell you that you have no rights to further share it. So my ring will become private to you. Again, my pen will also become private to you, so that you will not be able to give those pen or ring to any one of your child also. So accordingly, John says that if Sam is there and Sam wants to access the ring or the pen, it is not accessible. Okay, even Nick, who is the friend of John, cannot access this. Since the type of the mode, whatever mom has shared to John, she has shared it privately. Now consider the public derivation, protected derivation mode. Now in this case, when class mom shares the property to John, she says that I'll share it, but I shared it to you protectedly. When she shares it protectedly, the ring is shared in such a manner that it will be available to John, and John will have the right to share it to his own son, suppose Sam. And the public member also, she gives it to, the mom gives it to John, but she says that again, keep it protected. Don't allow this pen to give it to your friends. You can give it to your children, but you do not give it to your friends. So again, the ring is shared to Sam, who is the children of John. So ring can be accessible by Sam. Also, the pen is accessible to Sam. However, Nick does not get any of the thing which is a property of mom from John. So that is the type of protected derivation mode where John will share it only to its derived classes. Now, public derivation mode. In public derivation mode is there, mom says that I will share it to you publicly. Whatever I have, I have given, the same rights you also keep. You decide that pen is to be shared or the ring has to be shared to your children or not. And then John decides that I will share it to Sam also, but I will give the ring only to Sam, okay, and pen also to Sam. But to Nick, I cannot give ring because that ring is protected. Mom has given to me, has given that protected data, protected ring, so that I have to share only with Sam. So he shares only the pen with Nick. So this is known as a type of derivation modes. So similar can be example of programming where you have value X, Y, Z, which are declared publicly, privately, and protectedly. Class B is accessing the properties of A class privately. Now, when B wants to access the variable X, it will generate an error. Why? Because X is private in class A and class A cannot share any of its private properties to even its derived classes like that, which we have seen as a key. Yeah, Y and Z can be accessed by class B here. So error as X is private in class A. Now again in the main function, when I access the ob.show function, the show function, though it is public for class A, for class B, while class A has shared the property that is has shared the show function to B class has made it as private. So it is not permitted by the B class to give it to main function. That is why when we call ob.show function, it will give me an error. And then ob.disp is there. Similarly, when class C, who is sharing its property from class B, if he or she accesses Y or Z, it will get an error because this Y and Z, which are protected members and public members of class A, has become private in class B. So B has no rights to share it further to any of its derived class also and not to any other function also. That is why it generates an error. So you can have a quiz. You can go to strawpoll.com using these URIDs and solve the questions. So you can have this, take a snapshot and enjoy the quiz. Now we'll see about nested class in C++. What is a nested class? Anything which is embedded in another thing. So as you can see, there is an inner class and outer class. A nested class is known as an inner class. Class which is declared in another class is known as a nested class, and it becomes a member variable of the enclosing class, that is the outer class. Member functions of the outer class have no special access to the members of a nested class. They cannot access the members of the nested class. So if class outer is there, class inner is there. So inner class is declared inside the class outer. So here we can see X is a member of outer class and Y is a member of inner class. Show function is a member of inner class. So if show function wants to access X variable of an outer class, it has to create an object of the outer class and then access as E arrow X, since E is a pointer over here. So you can access E dot X also and E arrow X if it is a pointer. So nested class can access the private members of outer class using an object. Now consider that class outer is there, you have X variable, you have a Y variable, and there is a show function in the outer class. And if outer class accesses the inner class object and ob dot arrow Y, it will give you an error. Why this error? Is it the case that outer class members cannot access the inner class members? It is not there. Here it cannot access because Y is a private member in the inner class. A next nested example, we can see class outer, and there is a class inner which is having one answer variable and a sum function and show function. Now this is outer class and there is no function in the outer class. Now, when you create an object of, you want to access the sum function or the show function from the main function, then you need to create by rule, you create an object of inner class and access sum function and show function. But this will give you a compiler error. This is not possible. So a solution for this is, inside the main, when you are creating an object of inner class, you will have to create it in this fashion. You will have to write outer scope resolution operator, inner obj, and then access sum function and show function. So this is a solution of the previous example, which gives you the result sum is 30. We take another example of a nested class where class person is there, a public member function, a class address, you have a public member function city. So a public member function can be accessible in the outer class by creating an object of the inner class. Just you can use obj.city. So this is possible by using the address obj object. So outer class or inner class, if they want to access the members of each other, they have to create an object of their respective classes. Then in the main function, now you can just call the show function using the person class object. So here, instead of outer, it will be person ob, then ob dot name abc and ob dot obj dot city. So if through ob again I want to access city, I have to write it as ob dot obj dot city, where obj is the address, is the object of class address. So this is how we can access the members of inner class from outer class object also. So here person name ABC and city name Nashik. So to access the members of the public members of inner class from non-member function, we have two options. Either use outer scope resolution operator inner class object and then object dot member of inner class, or first create the object of outer class, then create the object of inner class inside the outer class like inner obj, and access the member of inner class from non-member function as outer class object dot inner class object dot member of inner class. So these are the two ways. Advantages of nested class is that they have access to the private members of outer class, and it increases the encapsulation, and it is more readable and maintainable. So this video has shown you about the derivation modes in inheritance in C++ and nested class and its advantages. Thank you.